We're going to try to move through pretty quick and, like I said, stick to the 5 minutes with members. If any of our witnesses need a break, water break, restroom break, just let us know and we'll do that. We can maybe go one at a time and keep going, or maybe we'll take a 5-minute break. Just signal us and let us know. Chair now recognizes the gentlelady from Florida, Ms. Lee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you to all of our witnesses for being here today and being willing to share your stories with us. I served my community as a prosecutor and as a judge, and a prosecutor has an absolute responsibility to work with the men and women of law enforcement to uphold the law, to protect the community, and to consult with crime victims and their families to be sure that their voices are heard in our criminal courts. When crimes aren't prosecuted and when judges are prevented from setting appropriate bail, or when violent criminals are released out on the street and allowed to reoffend because of reckless bail policies, the criminal justice system is failing victims of crime. But it is not just my work as a prosecutor and as a judge that informs me for this hearing today. I am also a mother. And we need to begin this hearing today by remembering that the victims of these soft on crime policies, the victims of these reckless bail reform policies aren't just numbers. They are people and lives that are forever harmed or lost. Each of them reflects a failure in our criminal justice system. With that, Ms. Brame, I would like to return to your story. Would you please begin by sharing with us a little bit more about your son?
Excuse me, is that the way my son was murdered or my son as a person?
As a person, please.
Sergeant Hassan is the oldest of my 5. He was 35 years old at the time of his death. He is a father of 3 small children, Jason, Jordan, and Jaylani, my 3 grands. And also Hassan was a husband. He was an amazing young man. He was a personal physical trainer at Crunch Gym at the time of his murder. He was also a full-time student at Manhattan College. Hassan was a responsible, licensed, and registered gun owner, all right? He was a good guy with a gun.
Do you believe that the criminals who murdered your son received justice?
That the criminals who murdered him?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely not. You know, even the stabber, they offered him a plea deal. Instead of the 25 to life, he copped out to 20 years. Okay? The other brother is the only one who actually went to trial, and he blew trial. He lost trial, and he also got 20 to life. All right? And so, but 2 of the other defendants got completely away with what they did to my son. If you take a life, you do life, okay? There should be no plea deals for murder.
And what
Those
about
cases need to be brought to trial.
And what about your family, Ms. Brame? Do you feel your family was treated appropriately in the criminal justice system?
Absolutely not. We were treated like garbage.
Tell me about that.
We got no answers. If it wasn't for my persistence, all right, if it wasn't for my not missing one court date, except for the one where they dropped the murder and gang assault charge against Mary Saunders because Alvin Bragg's office did not inform me that they were doing that, which is my right to know that. I didn't get a chance to give my victim impact statement when they sentenced her to that 1-year time served. Okay, so they treated us like garbage. They didn't reveal any information. I had to do a lot of research myself. That's one of the reasons why I formed my Victims' Rights Reform Council, to help other, others and families of homicide victims, to help them navigate that court system, because we got no services. There is no services in New York City for victims. If there is, I have no idea what they are.
Thank you, ma'am. Councilman Holden, You've called for legislation that would give judges more discretion when setting bail conditions for defendants who may pose a threat to public safety. Would you tell us a bit more about your proposals and why you believe they are important?
Well, New York State is the only state in the union that a judge cannot consider how dangerous the defendant is. So if he's committed a number of crimes before, the judge can't consider that. The only state in the union. So that's why you have repeat offenders out on the streets. This is so ridiculous, so absurd, that a judge cannot consider how dangerous an individual is who was arrested. And that's why people are walking. And so we've made proposals to our state colleagues. Let's change this. Why are we the only state in the union that does this? I mean, you have to question that. But again, so many people doing this.
Time of the gentlewoman has expired. Thank you, Mr. Holden. We'll sure you'll get more time. The chair now